Leading off, the second baseman, 41, Peyton Ellis. Batting second at first base is 34, Mason Golbeck. Batting third and playing third base is 11, Trey Taylor. Up fourth, the DH, 40, Owen Hill. Batting fifth and catching is number 6, Charles Rockwell. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 17, Keegan Finn. Batting seventh is the shortstop, 43, Zachary Winston. Batting eighth and in center field is number 2, Drew Hosterman. And batting ninth, the left fielder is 19, Dylan Isro. On the mound for the Skippers is 24, Aiden Carolden. The Skippers are coached by Kyle Peets in his first season.
Kicks, fires, swing and a miss! Macomb has won their first conference championship since 1995. The dog pile ensues. This one's got some carry. Zimmerman looking up. That's gone! Gonna ground ball to third. Miller, Fields. Throw on to second. Sandias got it. Macomb, champions once again in 2025.
And now, let's meet the conference opening starters for your Macomb Monarchs. Leading off, the shortstop, number 2, Marlon Matthews Jr. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 21, Peyton Rich. Batting third and playing first base, number 24, Buster Weevil. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 38, Evan Morrison. Batting fifth and in left field is number 34, Lachlan Scout. Batting sixth and patrolling center field, number 4, Don Hennessy. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 5, Zach Rippy. Batting is number 8, the third baseman, Aiden Miller. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 9, Norbert Garcia. His starting pitcher is number 45, Brendan Rubicki. The Monarchs head coach in his first season, his program alum, Nick Caruso. At this time, we ask that you please rise if able, and gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Baseball season is upon us. Hello, everybody. Welcome to UWM Field in Utica, Michigan. It's opening day for Macomb Monarchs baseball here on the Macomb Monarchs Athletic Network. Matt Merrifield here with you this afternoon for what should be a fun contest as your defending MCCAA East champions. The Macomb Monarchs open up conference play, taking on the St. Clair County Community College Skippers, a Skippers team that has struggled the past 2 seasons, but in their first year under their new head coach, they look to be much improved. Kyle Peets in his first year has got St. Clair County out to a 4-4 start. But for Macomb coming in their first year under new head coach Nick Caruso, his second year with the program, and he's looking to make it 3 straight seasons with a conference title for this Monarch squad, as they are currently 6-10 on the year, finally playing their first contest in the state of Michigan after spending some time down in Florida the last couple weeks, getting ready for conference play. Should be a fun afternoon of baseball, as Brendan Prisbicki, number 45, the sophomore from Macomb, getting the start on the bump for the Monarchs. 6'2", 170 pounds, 0-3 on the year, making his 4th start of the season, looking to finally get in the win column, but coming off his best start of the year, striking out 6 batters in his last outing back on March 10th against number 5 ranked Kirkwood CC. As we get ready to roll here from UWM Field, St. Clair County up to bat first, leading off Peyton Ellis. He is leadoff man. Batting second is Mason Golobeck. Trey Taylor hitting third. Going on down the list, Owen Hill, Charles Rocco batting 4th and 5th. Keegan Finn hitting 6th. As first pitch pulled to the third base side, foul, 0-1. First pitch strike from Brendan Prisbicki as we get things started. Rounding out the Skippers lineup at the bottom, Zachary Winston, Drew Hosterman, and the 9-hole hitter Dylan Isro. Prisbicki working out of the stretch, the 0-1. Drops in a slider for strike 2 and quickly pulls ahead of the leadoff man, Peyton Ellis. Ellis, the second baseman today for St. Clair County, hitting .438 here in the early going. Macomb has already played 16 games to open up the season, only 8 games so far for St. Clair County. They're off to a 4-4 start. They won 5 games all of last season, looking to match their win total and get out to a 1-0 start in conference play. The 1-2 knocked back to the screen. Peyton Ellis keeps the at-bat alive. Today's game was supposed to be played on Macomb's home campus, but early this afternoon they decided to change the venue and drove on up to Utica, Michigan to open up MCCAA East play, as the 1-2 again fouled off by Peyton Ellis, battling here early in this opening at-bat of the day. In the on-deck circle awaits Mason Golobeck, as the freshman Peyton Ellis continues to battle against Brendan Prisbicki. The 1-2, ball misses in, almost caught the inside leg of Ellis. Count is now even at 2-2. This time, caught him looking, strike 3, and Prisbicki opens up conference play with a punch-out.
The batter is 34,
Had a
Mason Golobeck.
career-high 6 in his last outing last week. Punches out the first batter he faces as Mason Golobeck makes his way to the plate. Freshman from New Baltimore has had quite the start to the season, his first 8 games. He leads the team in every offensive category, hitting .500 through 8 contests. First pitch he watches go by for a strike. Golobeck went 2 for 4 in St. Clair County's most recent game as he drives one straight away into center, but it hangs up a little too long and it's caught for the out. Dom Cavassini didn't have to move much. Low liner that just hung up too long for Golobeck. Good swing. Out number 2. As Prisbicki trying to make quick work in this top of the first inning. Now it's time for Trey Taylor to step in, the sophomore from Richmond. St. Clair County hit a pair of home runs in their win over Illinois Valley CC last week. Taylor and Golobeck were the 2 players to go yard. Only 3 home runs so far as a team to this point for St. Clair County early in this 2026 campaign. Cut on and missed. Taylor might have gotten a piece of it. Now 0-2, Prisbicki ahead, trying to complete a 1-2-3 inning. Prisbicki in his second season with the team. Grounder to the left side, scooped up by Aiden Miller at third. On to first. 1, 2, 3 go the Skippers in the top of the first. Brendan Prisbicki looks strong in his opening inning. And now Macomb will hit for the first time in conference play. Coming up in just a moment as you're watching Monarchs baseball here on the Macomb Monarchs Network. Sophomore Aiden Carolden is your starting pitcher this afternoon for St. Clair County. The number 24 sophomore out of Yale, Michigan, making his third start of the year. He actually started in the Skippers' most recent game back on the 13th of March, last Friday, when they took down Illinois Valley CC. Only went one inning, got the no decision, allowed 2 hits, but no runs came across. He's only pitched 4 innings so far combined between his 2 outings. Let's take a look at the starting lineup today for Macomb. Leading off, Marwin Matthews Jr., the transfer from Western Michigan. Leading things off, Peyton Rich batting second. Buster Diebel in the 3-hole spot. Batting cleanup is the catcher, Evan Morrison. Lachlan Stout hitting 5th. Dom Cavassini in center and batting 6th. Zach Grindy, the sophomore, batting 7th. Aiden Miller, the third baseman, batting 8th. And Norbert Garcia rounding things out, hitting 9th. As Marwin Matthews Jr. stands in, watches ball 1, miss outside, 1-0. Matthews, a sophomore, after playing 1 year at Western Michigan last year. He's a Detroit, Michigan native, played his high school ball at Detroit Edison. Puts a grounder on the right side, scooped up by the second baseman, flipped on to first just in time. Ground out to second. Good play by Ellis there at second base to make the play. 1 away as Matthews is retired. One of the returning batters to this Macomb lineup, Peyton Rich, the designated hitter today, stands into the box. He'll take the first pitch, missing low, 1-0. Rich hitting .419 in the early going this year, 18 hits, 11 ribbies. Misses way outside as Rich pulls ahead, 3-0. We'll see if Rich gets the take sign, 3-0. Fastball right over the heart of the plate, strike 1. Carolden, the sophomore, made the start against Illinois Valley last week and then started the season opener against Middlesex College. Cut and a miss. Strike 2, Carolden works it back to full. The payoff pitch. On the ground, down the line. Hops just foul. And the at-bat between Rich and Carolden will continue. Rich played in 17 games last year for the Monarchs, made 9 starts as tips it back to the screen, keeping his at-bat alive here in the bottom of the first. Brennan Prisbicki retired SC4 in order in the top half of the inning. The long at-bat continues. The 3-2 one more time. Along the corner, strike three looking. Rich thought it was outside. The umpire rings him up for strike three. 2 gone here in the bottom of the first.
Number 24, Buster Debo.
Now time for Buster Debo, number 24, playing first base. Carolden out of the windup, misses off the plate, 1-0. So Macomb team had a busy week last week. They had an 8-game trip in Central Florida in the Russ Matt Central Florida Invitational, playing in a couple different cities between Lakeland and Orlando. As a drive back to left field, tracking back on the run and making the catch for the out is Isro. Oh, just in front of the track. Good swing by Buster Debo. But the Monarchs go down 1-2-3 in the first inning. Still scoreless between St. Clair County and Macomb. We'll be back with the second after this here on the Macomb Monarchs Network.
Sun is down, freezing cold. That's how we already know. Winter's here, my dog will probably do it for a Louis Bell. That's just all he know, he don't know nothing else. I tried to show him. Yeah. I tried to show him. Yeah. 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 Gone on you with the pick and roll. Yellow flame, he in sicko mode. Make this here with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they keep me loose. Yeah, jump out, boys. That's Nike boys hopping our coast. Way too big when we pull up, give me the loot. Was off the Remy, had up at post. Had to hit my old town, lift up the news. 24-hour lockdown, we made no moves. Now it's 4 a.m. and I'm back up popping with the crew. I just let it in, just be mixing spot like Jamba Joe's. Different color chains, see my jewelry really southern froze. And they joking, man, know the crackers wish you wasn't known. Sunset.
The river retreat, y'all in too deep. Play for keeps, don't play for weeks. The river retreat, y'all in too deep. Play for
Welcome back to UWM Field in Utica, Michigan. Time for the top of the second between Macomb and St. Clair County. So we take a look at the defensive alignment for Macomb today. Behind the plate, catcher Evan Morrison. On the mound is Brennan Prisbicki. Going across the infield from left to right at third is Aiden Miller. Marwin Matthews Jr. playing shortstop. Norbert Garcia at second, and Buster Debo manning first base. And then in the outfield in left, Lachlan Stout. In center is Dom Cavassini. And in right is Zachary Grindy. Has a first pitch strike to the skipper's leadoff man this inning, number 8, Owen Hill. Prisbicki tries to break off a breaking pitch, missing low, 1-1. Hill able to work ahead now, 2-1. The freshman from Fort Gratiot, Michigan, 2 for 10 so far in the early going this year. See, he puts a line drive out towards right center field, tracking over his Cavassini. He'll find the gap all the way to the wall in center. Hill rounding second. He's chugging for third, and he'll slide into third with a triple to lead off the top of the second. A big swing into the big alley in right center here at UWM Field. And the Skippers with a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the second inning. 2-1 pitch that Hill could hit. Able to get it by Cavassini in the outfield all the way to the wall. And now Charles Rocco, the catcher for the Skippers today, has a chance to bring home the opening run. First pitch is across for a strike. Rocco playing in his 5th game this season, still looking for his first hit. But in their last game against Illinois Valley, CC didn't record an at-bat, but he did bring home an RBI on a sacrifice fly. As Przybicki pulls ahead now 1-2. Cut and a miss, strike 3. Przybicki with a huge K with that runner on third, nobody out. Trying to strand the runner. A punch out to get things started will hopefully go a long way for him now. 1 out in the inning as Finn steps into the left-handed batter's box. Keegan Finn, graduate from Port Huron Northern High School, as the infield hedging their bet, playing on the edge of the turf. Trying to cut down the runner from third and deny that opening run from scoring 2-0 the count to Keegan Finn. Good swing out towards center field. It'll drop in for a base hit, and the runner, Owen Hill, will come in to score as Keegan Finn drives in his 5th RBI of the season and puts the Skippers up 1-0 here in the top of the second. Good line drive swing. Now it's Zachary Winston. First pitch missing for ball 1. Winston went 2 for 4 with a triple in SC4's last game last week. Pop up down the first base line into foul territory. What a grab by Norberg Garcia, tracking it down, losing his cap in the process, but still making the catch. Second out of the inning.
The batter's 2, Drew Osterman.
Now it's Drew Hosterman's turn. 1 on, 2 out, 1 in here in the top of the second inning. 1-0, St. Clair County in front. Strike 1 on the outside corner from Przybicki. Hasn't come quite as easy as it did in the first, where he went 1-2-3, retiring the top of the order. Slow grounder into the hole at short, back across. Close play at first, as Debo couldn't hold on, but it looked like Hosterman was going to beat the throw regardless from Marwin Matthews. So he'll bring it to first and second with 2 outs here in the second. I have to believe they're going to rule that as an infield single. Tough play for Matthews to get that ball back across the diamond. First and second, 2 out now. As the 9-hole hitter, Dylan Isro, a freshman from Sterling Heights, played his high school baseball just down the road at Utica Ford. Chops one away, foul, 1-1. Isro went 0 for 2 against Illinois Valley last week. Did bring home a run and drew a walk, but it brought an end to his 6-game hitting streak. Still got a .450 average early in this 2026 season coming into the conference opener. Awkward cut on the inside corner, 1-2. Przybicki pulls ahead. And they did officially rule Hosterman in that last at-bat as an infield single. The 1-2, inside corner, low. Count now at 2-2 to Dylan Isro. As Finn leads off a second. Pop up first base side, foul territory. Debo running after it, and he is not going to get to it in time. It'll drop in for a foul ball. keeping the count at 2-2. One, two, just misses. Excuse me, that was 2-2. Now the count is full at 3-2. Runners will be on the move on the pitch home. The 3-2. Soft pop-up down the first base line into foul territory. Debo back after it, and he can't haul it in. Tough ball to track after. Very windy this afternoon. Debo couldn't get to it in time. That'll keep the at-bat at 3-2. Runners will move again on the pitch. Inning that started with an Owen Hill triple. Came around to score on the Finn RBI single. 3-2 again. Line drive over the second baseman's head and into right. And they're going to hold the runner at third. They tried to back pick Finn, who had to scramble back to third base. Good throw in from right field from Zach Grindy. Even with the runners on the move, a line drive hit into the outfield did not bring home the runner, so that will load the bases with the top of the order back to the plate. Peyton Ellis coming in after striking out last inning to lead things off. Bases juice, 2 outs here on the top of the second as the first pitch misses low and away in the left-handed batter's box, 1-0. This is a SC4 offense that has been on fire to start the year. As sharp grounder on the to short. Marwin Matthews across the first and in time as Prisbicki able to tightrope out of a sticky situation. A leadoff triple from the Skippers, but they're only able to bring across the 1 run. We'll see what kind of response Macomb has in the bottom half of the second coming up after this here on your home for Monarchs Baseball. Evan Morrison, the freshman catcher from Macomb, leading off the bottom of the second for the Monarchs, looking to get into the run column after falling behind 1-0 in the top half of the second. Monarchs coming in today after finishing up their trip in Florida last week. 8 games down in Central Florida in the Russ Matt Central Florida Invitational. Finished the trip 4-4 off the end of the bat of Morrison, 0-1. A lot of different teams Macomb played. They played a couple different doubleheaders. They took on Mid-Michigan and North Dakota State College of Science, along with 5th-ranked Kirkwood CC from the state of Iowa and Lake Region State College. And their most recent doubleheader back on March 11th, so a week ago yesterday. Macomb dropped both of their battle against the top 5 Kirkwood team, losing 12-0 and 7-3. For splitting with Lake Region State, including a 10-0 Mercy Rule win in 6 innings. 1-2 count to Evan Morrison. Aiden Carolden back out for his second inning of work after throwing just 9 pitches in the first. Out of the windup, the 1-2. Back high off the screen. Morrison continues to battle. Beautiful afternoon of baseball in Macomb. It's even warmed up more than expected. 53 degrees here early in this contest. A little cloudy, but can't complain for mid-March baseball in the great state of Michigan. Morrison fouls off another. Monarchs were supposed to open conference play on Tuesday against Mott CC at home, but it was 25 degrees and it was snowing most of the afternoon. So Monarchs decided to push that game back to tomorrow. They'll take on the Bears at 2 p.m. here on the Monarchs Network. You can catch that one. Should be a fun contest as the Monarchs continue on with conference play. Weather's supposed to be even better tomorrow afternoon as Morrison brings it even to 2-2 against Carolden. Hopper down the first base line. It rides the chalk but slides foul as Morrison continues to battle. Morrison hitting .348 early in the season. Started now in 9 games, including today. This is 12th game total on the year as Carolden skips one in front of home plate. And Morrison able to work it back to full 3-2 after starting off behind in the count. The payoff pitch to Morrison. Hard grounder back up the middle and into center field, a leadoff single. Great at bat by the Dakota High School alum, Evan Morrison. Going right back up the middle. Down 2 strikes in the count, works it to full, and comes through with a leadoff single. That'll bring up Lachlan Stout, the right fielder. Lachlan Stout, a redshirt freshman, was at Northwood University last year. Redshirted, now playing for the Monarchs. He has played quite well. Tied for the team lead in home runs with 3 on the year, has 10 RBIs as well. Crawling up tight to the plate, the right-handed batter awaits. First pitch inside, catches him on the elbow. And just like that, Macomb, 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. Now Dom Cavassini, team leader in home runs and RBIs. He's tied with Stout with 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Cavassini, one of the key returning bats for Macomb this year. He's the returning team leader in hits from a year ago where he had 34. That was only good for 7th on the team. So Macomb looking to replace a lot of their hitting from last season. Cavassini shows a bunt, tips it back to the screen. Macomb, like I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, defending champions, the MCCAA East, after they shared their title. They've shared the conference title each of the last 2 years. When they won it in 2024, it was their first time winning the conference since 1995. The Monarchs went back-to-back in 94 and 95. They've gone back-to-back in 24 and 25 as well, looking to make it 3 in a row. Cavassini shows bunt again, throw to first, and they're going to call him safe. Carolden tried to make the throw. Coming over to second to cover was Ellis. Looked like he lost his footing on the slip. Didn't get to the bag in time. Tried applying the tag to at least salvage the out. And the umpire in the field today said that he missed. Now, the 2 umpires this afternoon will come together and discuss the situation. After some deliberation, they're going to agree that Cavassini was indeed. Now they're going to say that Cavassini was out, so Cavassini will head back to the dugout. Macomb not pleased with the call, as it originally went in their favor. Nick Caruso, the bench boss for Macomb, now getting the explanation by the field umpire. Well, it'll be second and third with one out for Macomb. There'll be a sacrifice bunt for Dom Cavassini in the scorebook as Zach Grindy, the transfer from Jackson College, gets an opportunity. First pitch misses. Grindy looking to heat up the bat a little bit, hitting just 158 early in the year, but was one of the best bats for Jackson College last season, hitting 350. And he ropes one into right field, and that's going to sail over the right fielder's head, take a hop over the wall. A ground rule double. That will score both runners. And Zach Grindy puts Macomb in front 2-1 with a shot to right field. RBIs number 6 and 7 on the year, and Macomb up 2-1 in the second as Morrison and Stout come around to score. Aiden Carolden trying to settle in after his team got him the 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Bottom of the second has not gone very well. Leadoff single for Morrison, then Stout was hit by a pitch. Cavassini ruled out on a sacrifice bunt, and Grindy comes through with the 2-run double. Now it's Aiden Miller. Inside corner strike for Carolden to pull ahead. Miller, the 8th hitter in the lineup for Macomb today. Norbert Garcia in the on-deck circle to finish out the lineup. Then he'll be back to the top with Matthews Jr. High chopper to short. Fielded cleanly and on to first in time. Out number 2 as Grindy moves over to third on the ground ball. Zachary Winston at shortstop making the play. And Norbert Garcia comes up with the runner on third, and 2 gone here in the second. Macomb pulls ahead in the count 1-0. Another first pitch miss from Carolden. Working out of the windup with the runner on third. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That'll even the count. One misses well inside. 2-1 now. Garcia enters conference play with a .303 average on the year. .378 on base percentage. Good swing straight to the second baseman and caught for the out. Peyton Ellis reeling it in, and that'll bring an end to the second inning. Macomb came in down 1. But a 2-run double from Zach Grindy propels the Monarchs in front 2-1 the score. We'll be back with the top of the third after this here on your home for Monarchs Baseball. Mason Golubeck leading it off for St. Clair County in the top of the third. Matt Merrifield with you here. And an MCCAA East Conference opener between Macomb and St. Clair County. 2-1, Macomb in front. Both teams finding their way into the run column in the second inning. Brendan Przbicki back on the bump for his third inning of work. First pitch, heater across the outside corner for strike one. Golubeck lined out to center field in his first plate appearance back in the first. Hitting .500 entering today, 1439 OPS through 8 games to start the year. 1 home run, 12 RBIs, 12 hits, cut and a miss. Strike two. That front side leg was stepping towards the third base coach down the third baseline on that swing. 1-2, Przbicki ahead. Trying to get Golubeck to chase, back to even at 2-2. Golubeck has reached base safely in all 8 games so far this year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Off-speed pitch from Przbicki, picks up another strikeout. His third of the day, and that's 1 up, 1 down to start the top of the third. Now Trey Taylor will get another chance after grounding out to third in his opening at-bat. Two for 4 with a big fly against Illinois Valley last week in SC4's last contest. Skippers coming in today 4-4 on the year. They've won 3 straight after starting 1-4. Shot back up the middle, just avoiding Przbicki and into center field. Trey Taylor with a 1-out single to bring a runner aboard for St. Clair County.
Now batting with the Skippers, 40, Owen Hill.
Owen Hill looking to repeat what he did in his at-bat to lead off last inning. Tripled to right center field. Came around to score for SC4's lone run to this point. Lefty stepping out on it on the swing and a miss, strike 1. Przbicki doing a good job attacking batters, especially here in this third inning. First pitch strikes to all 3 he's faced. Another swing and a miss, strike 2. 74 on the radar gun. Przbicki pulling the string, working in reverse against the cleanup man, Owen Hill. The 0-2 inside, gets away from Morrison as Taylor takes off, and he'll pick up the extra 90 feet on the pass ball. Count moves to 1-2. No more double play situation either for Macomb as a runner on second, 1 out here in the third. Off the end of the bat, cued it foul. The remaining 1-2 as SC4 already with 5 hits through 2+ innings to this point. Macomb with just 2 hits, but they've got 2 runs to show for it. The 1-2 again, once again off the very end of the bat of Owen Hill. St. Clair County last week had an 8-game trip in South Carolina, playing down in Myrtle Beach at the Ripken Experience. So each game they played was at an old model of historic ball fields, including Polo Grounds. The last game they played against Illinois Valley was on a replica of Polo Grounds. Started off 1-4, like I mentioned, finished with being winners of 3 straight coming into conference play. Got to be feeling pretty good. Another ball low, 3-2. Hill works it full. Falling behind 0-2, battling off a couple pitches. Now the payoff pitch coming in a moment. Przbicki sets at the chest. Hopper to first base, gloved and flipped on to Przbicki for the out. Good coverage by Przbicki, getting off the mound and making the defensive play. 2 gone as Taylor moves over to third. Runner on third, 2 outs in the top of the third. Charles Rocco, the catcher, trying to keep the inning alive. drive home a game-tying run here in the third. It's been a tough stretch the last couple years for St. Clair County. 4-4 on the year, but last year they finished 5-30 on the season. They went 2-23 in conference play, finishing in last place by 7 games in the MCCAA East. 2-0 the count, and now a mound visit here with 2 outs in the top of the third. Macomb going to talk things over. The entire infield coming in. 2 outs in the top of the third. Runner on third. That's Trey Taylor after his 1-out single. Quick meeting as Macomb's coaching staff works their way back to the third base dugout here at UWM Field. Prisbicki looking to work out of his third inning. Prisbicki went 3 2/3 in his start last week on March 10th against 5th-ranked Kirkwood. He pitched game 2 of the doubleheader. Went 3 2/3, allowed 4 runs, only 2 of which were earned. Walked 1, struck out 6, which was a career high. He breaks across a 2-0 strike to bring it to 2-1. That'll miss down and away. Now 3-1 to Rocco. Rocco went down in strikes last inning. Hopper to second, picked up by Garcia, and on to first for the out. Prisbicki strands the runner on third, and Macomb remains in front 2-1 as we head to the bottom half of the inning. We'll be back as Macomb will be up to hit next after this here on your home for Monarchs Baseball. Top of the order, leading things off for the Monarchs in the bottom of the third, Marwin Matthews Jr. Sophomore steps in. 442 average entering today. Shows bunt, pulls back, strike anyways. As Aiden Carolden coming back in for his third inning of work. Marwin Matthews Jr., 442 average, 516 on base, 596 slugging percentage. Down and away, bounces in, 1-1. Aiden Carolden, the starting pitcher for St. Clair County, making his 3rd start of the year. Only went 1 inning against Illinois Valley last week. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2, in his first start of the year in the season opener against Middlesex College. He went 3 innings. He entered the 4th before giving up 3 runs and being pulled. Finished that outing, 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs allowed, 3 of which earned 1 K, 1 strikeout. As Matthews skies the 1-2 out of play, foul, 1-2. Matthews coming today on a 3-game hitting streak, 4 for 10 in his last 3. And we'll skip to the first base side, mishandled by the first baseman, and that'll be ruled an error, most likely, allowing Matthews to reach base to lead things off in the bottom of the 3rd. Mason Golbeck came over, tried picking the ball on his backhand, mishandled it, and that allowed Marwin Matthews Jr., a dangerous threat on the base pass as well, to be on with nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd. Now Peyton Rich will come to the plate. Matthews, 12 stolen bases on the year on 14 attempts. 4th in all the MCCAA in stolen bases, not just in the East, but in the West as well. After a pickoff attempt, Golbeck holding him on as Carolden misses inside and up, 1-0. An errant pickoff attempt goes all the way to the SC4 dugout. Matthews is going to try and pick up 2 bases. He circles second and pulls into 3rd, easily standing up. A costly throwing error. That allowed Marwin Matthews to pick up 2 extra bases on the pickoff attempt. And Macomb now runner on 3rd. Nobody out here in the bottom of the inning. Peyton Rich with an opportunity to bring home a runner. 11 RBIs on the year. Fastball from Carolden misses up, 2-0. They gave Marwin Matthews Jr. a credit for a hit on that grounder to first base, so he reached base safely. So if that run comes across, it will be an earned run against Aiden Carolden. 3-0 now to Peyton Rich. See if he has the green light as he watches the heater go by for strike 1, 3-1 now. Carolden sets at the belt, the 3-1. Hard grounder, too short, fielded cleanly and back across for out number 1. Marwin Matthews comes in to score. Peyton Rich with the RBI ground out to make it 3-1 Monarchs in the bottom of the 3rd. Opportunity for Aiden Carolden to reset now. Nobody on, 1 out in this 3rd inning, trailing 3-1 to Macomb. He'll go back out of the windup. He'll skip one into home plate, 1-0 to Buster Diebold. Diebold puts a drive into one out to center field, and they won't get to it. It'll drop and roll all the way to the wall and straight away center, as Diebold will stroll into second base with a stand-up double. Hit it right over the top of Drew Hosterman, who couldn't track it down. The 6th double of the year for Buster Diebold, leading the team. He puts himself into scoring position with 1 out, 1 run already in. St. Clair County going to go talk things over, try and settle down their sophomore right-hander, Aiden Carolden, currently at 44 pitches, midway through his third inning of work. Nobody in the SC4 bullpen warming up as of yet. So it appears that this is Carolden's inning to work out of. As he now has to face the heart of the order, Diebel with the double. Now the cleanup man, Evan Morrison, has a chance. He singled last inning and came around to score. Looking to repeat the result of last at-bat. Just a hard shot, straight back up the middle. The shortstop Winston trying to hold on. Diebel swinging a miss from the lefty. Morrison 0-1. Shot down the first baseline, just foul. Good response by Carolden after the mound visit. He pulls ahead 0-2 in front of Evan Morrison. Morrison, the doubleheader against Lake Region State last week, went 1 for 3, including 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs in game 1 of the doubleheader, where Macomb won 10-0. Grounder on the right side, underneath the sliding glove of the second baseman and into right. Coming around to score is Buster Diebel. And Evan Morrison now 2 for 2 today, this time picking up an RBI, 4-1 Monarchs. Good piece of hitting from Evan Morrison, squaring it up, driving home his 5th RBI of the season. That's now an RBI in 3 straight games as he picked up a strong performance against Lake Region State last week. Stretches the lead today in this conference opener for Macomb up to 4-1. Now Lachlan Stout's turn. Hit by a pitch last time. Another fastball up and in, strike 1. Crawls all the way up on the plate. Allowed him to be hit by that pitch in the last time at the plate, but pitches like that first one from Carolden right there was the tough part. If it doesn't hit him on the inside corner, it's probably going to be called a strike, and it was as he falls behind 0-1. Pickoff attempt to Morrison. He returns back to the base in time. Slider over the outer half. Tipped back to the screen, 0-2. Carolden pulls in front. Stout was the second batter last inning for Macomb. He was hit by a pitch, came around to score to be the go-ahead run. Macomb has now got the lead up to 4-1. That ball skied out to right field. Working back to it and making the catch is Keegan Finn. Second out of the inning. And Dom Cavassini will come up with the runner on first and 2 away. Cavassini will get the opportunity to swing after laying down a sacrifice bunt last inning to help move along the runners. Trying to improve upon his average, currently resting at 175 on the year, but he has an on-base percentage of .450. As he'll stand in, taking a look at strike 1. Hitting 175, he's got 7 hits, 17 walks so far this year, which leads the team. Of his 7 hits, 3 have been home runs as the runner goes. Fouled off. Another 0-2 count for Carolden. Carolden trying to get his way out of the third inning after a 1-2-3 first. Things have not been easy in the second and third, allowing 2 runs in each. Trying to get out of it now. 0-2 to Cavassini. Outside corner, misses off the plate, 1-2. Zach Grindy in the on-deck circle. He had the 2-run double in the second inning. That pitch misses even further outside from Crolden, now 2-2. First base side pop-up, tracking over towards the dugout is the first baseman. As it goes out of play, keeping the at-bat alive at 2-2. Macomb with 3 hits in the inning, 2 runs have come across. Trying to keep the momentum going here with 2 away. 2-2 the count to Cavassini. Off the plate as the runner goes, throw down. And the tag is not applied in time. Buster Diebel with the stolen bag. Now puts a runner in scoring position. 3-2 count to Dom Cavassini. Excuse me, that was Evan Morrison, the catcher, swiping the bag. Not being held on. The 3-2 misses up. Ball 4 to Dom Cavassini, who draws the 2-out walk, and Zach Grindy will come back to the plate. First and second, 2 out. Grindy, a sophomore. Mentioned in his first at-bat, attended Jackson College last year, conference rivals of Macomb. Played his high school ball at L'Anse Creuse North. Heater. Down and away. Strike 1 to Grindy. Pop-up foul. Grindy finds himself in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs and 2 on in the third. .42 games last year with the Jackson Jets. Grindy drove in 51 runs, leading the team. He had 13 extra base hits. .02 pitch, not even close, as Zach Grindy continues to battle. Blasted on the ground to second base, fielded cleanly and on to first. Peyton Ellis makes the play, finding Golubeck. And the inning will come to an end, but not without 2 more runs from Macomb. Peyton Rich with the RBI ground out, and Evan Morrison with the single to bring home Buster Diebel. It's now 4-1 Macomb. As we head to the 4th, we'll be back with more coverage of Macomb Monarchs baseball after this. Macomb with a 4-1 lead as we start the 4th inning. Brendan Przybicki back on the bump for his 4th inning of work that started today for Macomb. The Monarchs in front with control of this game after falling behind 1-0. They've rattled off 4 unanswered runs.
17,
this is a series that was dominated by Macomb a year ago. Monarchs won all 5 meetings, including their first meeting against St. Clair County. Was 23-3 the final score in just 5 innings. Fly ball towards left center field, and coming in to make the catch is Lachlan Stout. 1 pitch, 1 out for Brendan Przybicki. Quick work to start the top of the 4th.
The batter 43, Zachary Winston.
That was Keegan Finn with the early swing and retired after 1 pitch. Now it's the shortstop, Zachary Winston. Winston had to pop out to second base in his lone plate appearance in the 2nd inning. Pitch on the outside corner, good frame by the backstop, Evan Morrison, helped by the strike, 1-1. Now 1-2 after the foul pitch. Like I mentioned, Macomb won all 5 meetings last year, and the closest of the 5 was a 9-4 final score in extras that Macomb won. Macomb scored 12 or more in 3 of the games. They scored at least 9 in all 5. Outscored the skipper 70-12 in 5 meetings. That's a fly ball into shallow right center field. Coming in to make the catch for the out, Zach Grindy on the run. 2 up, 2 down to start the 4th as Przybicki has settled in after the 1 run in the 2nd inning.
Now batting number 2, Drew Hosterman.
Winston is retired, and now the center fielder, Drew Hosterman, gets a chance to keep the inning alive. Another first pitch strike from Przybicki. Przybicki made 9 appearances for Macomb last year, all out of the bullpen. Sharp grounder to short. Matthews on to first in time. 1, 2, 3 go the skippers, and the 4th as Przybicki has found a groove. Macomb in front 4-1, looking to add to the total coming up in the bottom half of the 4th after this here on your home for Macomb Monarchs baseball. Aiden Miller, the sophomore from South Lyon, will be the first batter to the plate in the bottom of the 4th for the Monarchs, product of South Lyon High School. Started 35 games last year for Macomb, had 99 at-bats, hit .323, .910 OPS. Off to another good start here in 2026 as he takes a look at strike 1. Aiden Carolden still on the bump. After a couple shaky second and third innings, there is an arm starting to get warm for the Skippers down the first base line. Miller thought about offering at the pitch. They're going to check it. They say no, he did not go around 1-1. Miller wearing the number 8, hitting in the 8 hole today, playing third base. The 1-1 pop up straight up in the infield. The third baseman coming in off the glove, and it drops in. That's going to be an infield. Well, it's going to be an error against the Skippers, but that will allow Miller to reach first safely. Trey Taylor coming in, calling off his catcher, Charles Rocco, to try and make the catch, but Trey Taylor can't squeeze it in. Second defensive error of the game for the Skippers. And Aiden Miller is on. It'll go down as an error, E5 in the scorebook. But the Monarchs will take it. Runner on, nobody out here in the fourth. Pitch on the inside. Norbert Garcia sporting red batting gloves. The lefty takes strike one to bring it even to 1-1. Lined out to second base. Back in the second. He's going to lay down a bunt down the first base side. Carolden fields it cleanly onto first just in time to retire Garcia with the sacrifice bunt. That'll move along Miller to second base. Runner on second, one out. Top of the order back up with Marwin Matthews Jr. with the opportunity.
The batter, number 2, Marwin Matthews Jr.
Matthews 1 for 2 today, singled and scored last inning. First pitch from Carolden bounces in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher today for SC4, Charles Rocco. Matthews leads the team with 23 hits on the year coming into today's contest. Drives a foul ball back to the screen. Aiden Miller leading off a second base after the leadoff error by Trey Taylor at third. Matthews, the righty. Fly ball to center field. Tracking back is Drew Hosterman. Tagging is Miller, and he'll slide into third. Heads up base running by Aiden Miller to pick up an extra 90 feet. It'll be a fly out for Marwin Matthews Jr. But he puts the runner to third, 2 outs, and Peyton Rich will get the opportunity. Peyton Rich 0 for 2, had an RBI ground out, however, last inning to bring home Marwin Matthews for the third run of the game for Macomb as they lead 4-1 at the moment, trying to make it 5-1 here in the fourth. First pitch strike to Peyton Rich. Carolden now has thrown over 70 pitches here in his third outing of the year. This is his longest of the year as well, based on innings and outs recorded. Ground to the third, and Taylor redeems himself, throwing out Rich at first. And the leadoff error will not come back to cost SC4 as the score remains 4-1 Macomb through 4 innings of play. As Brennan Prisbicki has been strong, and he'll come back out for his 5th inning after this. Macomb up 4-1 here on your home for Macomb Monarchs baseball.
Your attention, please. Now playing third base for the Monarchs is number 1, Austin Thorpe. Leading off the Skippers, 19, Dylan Isro.
Dylan Isro leading off for SC4. This will be bottom top of the order for SC4 in the top of the 5th. The 9-hole hitter Isro, and then back to Ellis, the leadoff man today. Brendan Przbicki back to work after a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. Had a 1-2-3 inning back in the 1st as well. Throws a strike across to Dylan Isro, 1-1. Defensive substitution, Austin Thorpe in at third base now for Aiden Miller. Thorpe, a freshman from Macomb Township. Infield utility option, and he is in at third base for Aiden Miller. He'll sub into the 8-hole as well in the lineup, so he won't be due up for a couple batters. On the offensive side for Macomb is 2-1, now 2-2 for Przbicki against Isro. Grounder to the second. Garcia snaps it over to first. 4-3 ground out to start the top of the 5th inning for Przbicki as he picks up where he left off in the 4th.
Better 41, Peyton Ellis.
Now it's Peyton Ellis' turn to try and break the streak as this SC4 lineup has gone a bit cold. After picking up a run, striking first back in the 2nd inning, going up 1-0 thanks to an Owen Hill triple to lead off, and then eventually working his way around on a Keegan Finn single. 4 unanswered runs for Macomb. 0-1 almost catches Ellis on the leg on the inside corner. 1-1. One outside corner, strike 2. Good pitch from Przbicki. Another 2-strike count. Przbicki has retired 6 batters in a row, going back to the top of the 3rd. 1-2 pitch was close to the top of the zone, doesn't get the call. 2-2. He's retired 6 batters in a row and has retired 7 of his last 8. 2-2 pitch. Looping liner over a leaping Garcia into right field. 2-strike single from Peyton Ellis to finally get a runner back on base for the Skippers with 1 out here in the 5th.
The batter, 34, Mason Golovic.
Now the heart of the order beginning to come back up for SC4. Mason Golovic, first in the conference, in the entirety of the MCCAA in batting average, hitting a flat 500. 0 for 2 today, and looks like he's going to be 0 for 3. Skies it to straightaway center, and making the catch is Dom Cavassini. Przbicki makes quick work of Golovic, just 1 pitch for the flyout. 2 outs here in the 5th.
Now batting for the Skippers, 11, Trey Taylor.
Nick Caruso's got to be happy with how his sophomore right-hander has pitched in this outing. That ball is hit to left, going back and foul. Good swing by Ethan Taylor, or by Trey Taylor. Just couldn't keep it in play. 0-1 the count as some of the relievers in the Macomb bullpen down the left field line are starting to get stretched out. Nobody's up and throwing as of yet as Przbicki continues to work. He's at 72 pitches through 4 2/3 innings. Taylor snaps a liner towards the third base dugout. Good pick by somebody in the Monarchs dugout. 0-2, Taylor falls behind. 6 hits allowed for Przybicki today. No walks, 3 strikeouts. The 0-2 in the dirt. Good pick by Morrison on the backhand to not let it get by. Przybicki looks over at Ellis. Now comes set. 1-2, misses way outside again. Taylor 1 for 2 today, had a single his last time back in the third. Foul tip. Morrison can't hold on. The home plate umpire giving Evan Morrison a little bit of time to shake off the stinger, especially on this chilly afternoon. Those pitches can sting a little bit more on these cold days. Looks like Morrison's okay. Gets back down into his crouch. He awaits the 2-2 again here from Przybicki. 2 outs in the 5th. Lone away, it misses again. Trying to get Taylor to chase on that lone away breaking ball. Longest outing of the year so far for Przybicki. His previous season high was 4 innings against Southwestern Illinois College back on February 27th. 3-2, the runner goes fouled off. Payoff pitch will have to be tried again by Przybicki. With the full count, Ellis will be gone on the pitch. 3-2. That one skied back into center. Cavassini's got a beat on it and brings it in for out number 3 as Brendan Przybicki in control through 5 innings. Macomb with a 4-1 lead. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 5th after this here on the Macomb Monarchs Baseball Network. Three, 4, 5. Starting things off on offense for Macomb here in the bottom of the 5th. Buster Diebel, the first baseman, will come to the plate first. Aiden Carolden back out on the mound for his 5th inning of the game. Only pitched in 4 total innings in his 2 outings on the year coming into today. There is a right-hander currently getting warm in the skipper's bullpen. 1-0. Diebel pops it up back into center field. Hosterman drifts back to it and makes the catch for out number 1 in the 5th. Now Evan Morrison, the cleanup man. 2 for 2 on the day, an RBI single last time around. 2 for 2, 2 singles, 1 RBI, 1 run scored as he was the opening run for Macomb in the 2nd. Morrison watches it go by and It misses for ball 1. Good swing on it. As it'll tail foul down the left field side. 1-1. Start number 9 on the year for Evan Morrison. He has reached base safely in all 9 starts this season. Been a good pickup, just a freshman. Played his high school ball at Dakota. Off the handle, back up the middle, and into center field for a base hit. 3 for 3 today for Evan Morrison. He comes up with the 1-out single now. 1 on for Macomb here in the 5th. Now it's Lachlan Stout. We'll have another chance to move around Evan Morrison.
34, Lachlan Stout.
Morrison with his 3rd multi-hit game of the year today. First time this year he's had 3 hits in a game as a pickoff move back towards first. Offline, and Morrison back in with plenty of time anyways. Carolden already had 1 pickoff attempt back in the 3rd inning. Get away from allowed Marwin Matthews Jr. to pick up 2 extra bases on the errant throw as he went from 1st to 3rd. Stout got a piece of it on that swing. Now 0-1. Stout out 0 for 1 with a run scored after he was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Flew out to right field in his 2nd plate appearance. 3 home runs on the year. Pop up down the right field line. 3 players going after it, chasing. Unable to track it down. The closest player was Mason Golubeck, the first baseman. Made a little sliding effort. Couldn't bring it in. 0-2. Stout finds himself in a hole. Stout had a pretty strong trip in Florida last week over the 8 games played. He went 4 for 16, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Way up in the air, first base side, behind the bag, coming over the second baseman, makes the catch for the out. Peyton Ellis, number 41, able to track it down on this cloudy March Thursday afternoon. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. Dom Cavassini looking to keep the inning alive for Macomb. Cavassini still without a recorded at-bat today. 2 plate appearances, a sacrifice bunt, and a base on balls last time. Slow chopper to second. Ellis flips it to his shortstop, Winston, for the quick out. And Aiden Carolden gets out of the 5th inning unscathed. 4-1 remains the score. We'll be back with the 6th here from UWM Field in Utica after this. Welcome back to the top of the sixth here from Utica, Michigan. UWM Field, the place to be for this MCCAA East Conference opener between the Macomb Monarchs and the St. Clair County Community College Skippers. Macomb 6-10 on the year. St. Clair County 4-4. They both look to open conference play 1-0. Macomb with the early 4-1 lead. First pitch to Owen Hill off the end of the bat out to left. And he'll find some green grass for a leadoff single for Owen Hill. Second hit of the day. He had a leadoff triple back in the second. He's the only skipper to come around to score to this point. Second time today, St. Clair County has been able to get the leadoff runner on base as Brendan Przybicki has been tough to crack outside of that lone run that came across in the second. Bunt shown by Rocco. Can't get it down in fair territory, 0-1. Rocco 0 for 2, struck out back in the second, grounded out to second base in the third. Another bunt shown. Didn't get it down, and it missed the plate, 1-1. Przybicki continuing on, 12 1/3 innings pitched so far this year, coming in through his 4 appearances. He's made 3 starts before today. 12 1/3 innings pitched. Came in with a 6.81 ERA, 2.03 whip, but he has been very good on the mound for Macomb here in this conference opener. 2-1, Rocco shows another bunt, trying to sacrifice and move Owen Hill over to second as he fouls it off. Now 2-2. Can't imagine they're going to want him to bunt with 2 strikes, especially after not getting it down on 2 attempts already. Third baseman Austin Thorpe playing on the edge of the grass, or I should say just the green turf here at UWM Field, as they've replaced the dirt and grass with artificial turf. 2-2, check swing. Morrison tried to hold it. Looking for the check swing. No, says the field umpire. 3-2 the count. Looked like that pitch was over the plate and should have been strike 3 looking. But Przybicki doesn't get the call. Now the 3-2 with Hill leading off a first. Strike 3 looking. Rocco watches it go by on the off speed. Przybicki with his 4th K of the game. Picks up a crucial first out here in the 6th. And now Keegan Finn will come to the plate with 1 on and 1 out. Second time today, Charles Rocco has gone down on strikes, this time looking. First pitch swinging from Finn. Left field side and out of play along the concourse. Fifth appearance of the year for Przybicki, made 9 outings, all in relief last year as a freshman. Pitched just 18 2/3 inning, had a 2.89 ERA, 134 whip in his time on the mound. Cut and a miss, strike 2 to Keegan Finn, now in an 0-2 hole. Przybicki trying to pick up back-to-back strikeouts. 0-2 pitch down and in, gets away from Morrison, and taking the extra base is Owen Hill. Take a sharp turn at second, but he'll hold up at second, so no more double play opportunity for Macomb. Przybicki did have 1 appearance last year against SC4 back on April 26th. Fly ball left field line, tracking just left of the bullpen, out of play. A couple arms starting to get loose for the Monarchs, as have to imagine we're approaching the end of the day for Brendan Przybicki, currently with 87 pitches on the afternoon. Strike 3 looking on Keegan Finn. Back-to-back punch-outs after the leadoff single.
Skippers 43, Zachary Winston.
And Brendan Przybicki now with 4 Ks on the day. Make it 5 with that most recent one as Finn went down. The 0-1 to Zachary Winston. Brzezicki doesn't get the call, 1-1. Winston, shortstop today for the Skippers, 0 for 2 with a pop out and a fly out. Last year in the lone appearance on April 26th against the Skippers, Brzezicki went 2 innings, only allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 3 punch-outs, only 21 pitches thrown between 2 innings. Squibber back to the mound, gloved by Brzezicki, on to first for the out as he finishes off 6 innings of work in the conference opener. 6 innings, 7 hits, no walks, 1 run, 5 Ks for the sophomore from Macomb. And the Monarchs are in front 4-1, looking to add to the total in the bottom half of the inning. Coming up after this, and you're home for Monarchs baseball.
Your attention, please. Now in the pitch for the Skippers is 16, Caden Dreho.
St. Clair County turning to the bullpen as we begin the bottom of the 6th. Caden Draho, the right-hander from Hamilton, Ontario. Freshman making just his 2nd appearance. Comes in relief after 5 innings from the SC4 starter. Aiden Carolden. Just 1 appearance so far for Draho. So go up against Zach Grindy to start the bottom of the 6th. First pitch misses for ball 1. Draho finds the strike zone, bringing it back to 1-1. His lone appearance was back on March 11th last week down in Myrtle Beach against Lakeland Community College. When an inning and 2/3, allowed 1 hit, walked 5. 6 runs came across to score. Only 1 of those 6 was earned, however. That's a whip of 3.6. Shot straight back up the middle, and it drops in for a single. Another good swing by Zach Grindy. Like I mentioned, not coming in today with the best batting average, but putting together a couple good swings now. Had the 2-run double, and that's a line drive single for a multi-hit day for the Macomb right fielder, Zach Grindy. As Austin Thorpe, who came in as a defensive substitution in the top of the 5th for Aiden Miller, will get a chance to hit. Thorpe, a freshman, played high school at Eisenhower, a couple miles up the road. Thorpe with 3 hits on the year. He's hitting .231, on base of .500. He's been hit by 4 pitches already this year, which leads the team as he shows bunt, drops down the third base line, and trickles foul. Thorpe did not get the start today, but he had started 5 of the last 6 games for Macomb. He's 3 for 9 with an RBI and 3 walks in those 5 games. Pickoff move back to first. Grindy back in time. Bouncer to shortstop. Winston makes the play, goes to first for the out, makes the sure play, and retires Thorpe as Grindy moves up 90 feet to second base. So 1 on, 1 out with that runner at second.
Number 9,
Norbert Garcia at the bottom of the order with another chance. 0 for 1, lined out to second base, and then had a sacrifice bunt in his last appearance in the fourth. We get a little mound visit between Rocco and Trejo. So those final numbers for Aiden Carolden come rolling in. 4 innings, or 5 innings for him on the afternoon. Garcia watches ball 1. Carolden finishes the day 5 innings, 6 hits allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 4 runs will come across, all of them earned on 82 pitches. 1-0 to Garcia into the right-handed batter's box, way outside, 2-0. Garcia trying to come through and bring across another insurance run for Macomb as they lead 4-1. Haven't scored since the bottom of the third as that pitch gets past Rocco to the backstop. And taking the base is Zach Grindy, now up to third with 1 out. So a base hit isn't even necessary for Norbert Garcia to bring the run home, just has to put it in play. Try and make something happen as the infield comes in to try and cut down the runner. All of them on the edge of the grass. The 3-0 misses off the plate, ball 4, and Garcia draws a walk on 4 pitches. And it'll be Marwin Matthews' turn to try and bring home that runner on third.
the batter, number 2, Marwin Matthews Jr.
Matthews Jr. 1 for 3 with a single back in the third and came across to score. Shows bunt. Pulls back for ball number 1. If you're just joining us and want to know how we got to this 4-1 score, SC4 came through. Owen Hill had a leadoff triple in the top of the second, was brought home by a Keegan Finn RBI single as the runner takes off. Garcia slides into second as the shortstop Winston came through, cut off the throw, trying to see if Grindy would take off for home. Grindy just staying put, not trying to get over zealous and over aggressive. Just going to let the top of the order do their thing and drive home the run when the time comes. Matthews, one of the best hitters in the conference, leads the team for Macomb in average. Sharp shot to third, past the diving glove and into left field, a base hit, and the run will come in to score. Matthews speeds into second, taking the extra base, no throw, and the situation remains the same, second and third with 1 out. Macomb now up 5-1 with the RBI single from Marwin Matthews Jr. Zach Grindy comes in to score. Norbert Garcia now stands on third. Peyton Rich looking for his first hit of the day. Already has an RBI, trying to add 1 or even 2 more, especially with the speed of Marwin Matthews. Infield no longer sitting in as the third baseman, Trey Taylor, just down at that hot corner and then standing on the edge of the grass, doesn't give himself much time to react, and Matthews just blew it past him. So Rich watches another pitch miss. And time is called as the skipper's coming out. Coaching staff can have a talk with their right-handed reliever, Caden Trejo, who's come in relief here in the 6th inning, and things have not gone according to plan. As a leadoff single from Zach Grindy, Austin Thorpe did ground out, but a walk from Norbert Garcia, and then most recently an RBI single from Marwin Matthews Jr. puts us in the situation we're in now. 2 on, both in scoring position, 1 out, and a 4-run game, and Macomb on the verge of breaking this one wide open. St. Clair County winners of 3 in a row. They are up against the wall, and their offense just has not been able to generate anything today, even though that's been the mainstay of what's been so good for them. Pass ball back to the backstop. Coming home is Garcia, and he'll slide in safely. Norbert Garcia scores on the wild pitch, 6-1 Macomb. Matthews moves up to third. Draho trying to settle in. 3-0 in off the plate, ball 4. Another 4-pitch walk. Second one this inning. And it'll be runners at the corners with Buster Diebold
Now batting for the Monarchs,
coming up to swing.
Buster Diebold.
Diebold with a double in the third inning. Pickoff attempt to first. Rich is back in safely. Macomb up 6-1. They were behind 1-0 in the top of the second. As a sharp shot into right field, base hit. Matthews will trot home. Rich moves up to second. And Buster Diebold with an RBI single, making it 7-1 Monarchs, as a right-hander, and the skipper's bullpen is frantically starting to get warm. But Caden Draho, the mess he has created here in the 6th, seems like it's his to clean up, as the Monarchs have put up 3. And they continue through the heart of their order now. Evan Morrison, 3 for 3, his first 3-hit game of his JUCO career. Freshman from Macomb. Watches the first pitch miss in the dirt, 1-0. Kick and deliver inside to Morrison. Morrison, the 7th hitter to come up in the inning. Just 1 out, 2 on, 3 already in. 7-1 Macomb. Hopper to first. Picking it up is Goldebeck. He'll step on the bag himself. 3 unassisted for the 2nd out of the inning. 2nd and 3rd now, 2 away. As the skippers at last are able to retire Evan Morrison, as he falls to 3 for 4 this afternoon. Be Lachlan Stout looking for his first hit. Stout with 10 RBIs on the season, 308 average, 769 slugging coming into conference play. So he'll take the first pitch for a strike. Another strike from Draho, now 0-2, as he tries to finally put an end to this 6th inning, where Macomb has brought 3 runs across, stretching it to a 7-1 lead. The 0-2. Outside corner. Ball just off the plate. Draho wanted it. 2 runs in the 2nd, 2 runs in the 3rd, now 3 runs here in the 6th. For Macomb, 7-1. They lead over St. Clair County. Macomb champions of the MCCA East each of the last 2 seasons. And that ball is flown to left field, working back towards the track at the wall. It's gone! A home run. Lachlan Stout now with a team high 4 big flies on the year. 3 runs come in to score, and Macomb up 10-1 here in the 6th, as they have blown this game wide open. Had a home run against Lake Region State in game 1 of their doubleheader last week for his 3rd of the year, and now number 4, taking the lone possession of first on the team, carrying over that left field wall here at UWM Field. It's 3:15 down the line. As that'll be all she wrote this afternoon for Caden Draho, the freshman from Hamilton, Ontario, done after 26 pitches, 4 hits, allowed 2 walks, all 6 runners coming across. And we're going to take a break as the new arm for the Skippers gets warm here in the bottom of the 6th. Macomb in front 10-1, capped off by that 3-run blast from Lachlan Stout. We'll be back with more Monarchs coverage after this.
Your attention, please. In the pitch for the Skippers is 8, Adam Sauer.
St. Clair County turning to freshman right-hander Adam Sauer to finish things off in the bottom of the 6th. As the Monarchs have plated 6 runners in the inning, stretching the lead from 4-1 to 10-1. Sauer, freshman from Armada High School, making his 2nd appearance for the Skippers this year. First pitch, breaking ball missing 1-0 as his only other appearance came back in Game 2 of their doubleheader on March 10th. They took on New River CC. Sauer went 2 innings in that contest, allowing 2 hits, no walks, no runs, just the 2 hits, 2 clean innings, and just trying to clean things up and get things back to the top of the 7th. Let the offense try and generate some sort of rally to come back here in the conference opener on this Thursday in March. 2-0 and now to 3-0 for Dom Cavassini, the 9th batter to come up to the plate for Macomb in this inning. 3-0 from Sauer. Catches the corner, strike 1. Cavassini 0 for 1 with a walk and a sacrifice bunt this afternoon. And he'll walk for the 2nd time as he watches ball 4 go by. The man who got things started for Macomb at the beginning of this 6th inning, Zach Grindy, with a single, comes back to the plate. 2 hits already for Grindy. They had a 2-run double in the 2nd to put Macomb in front. That double was the start of 10 unanswered for the Monarchs. One-0 pitch. Catches the corner, strike 1 to Grindy. Big swing out in front. Now 1-2 as Sauer tries to push this game to the top of the 7th. Macomb looking for that final run for a Mercy Rule victory. 1-2, now 2-2. Here's to see who Macomb calls upon out of the bullpen. I have to imagine Brennan Przybicki's day is over. It was tremendous today for the Monarchs and through 6 innings, but he threw 96 pitches. I have to imagine that's going to be all she wrote. As that pitch gets away on the 2-2, now the count is full, and moving up is Cavassini to second base. Cavassini was going to be on the move had he not advanced on the pass ball here on the 3-2. Instead, he'll lead off a second. Base hit could bring him home. Grindy, the lefty, had 5 hits on the year. Coming into today, had 3 hits, now up to 5 with the 2-hit afternoon. The payoff pitch from Sauer. Sharp on the ground, through the right side, past the diving first baseman. They're calling around Cavassini. The throw to the plate is not in time. A throw to second, sails into center field, and coming around, and Grindy will be able to trot all the way around as the skippers track back to the baseball, but in to score is Zach Grindy. And that is going to cap off a Monarchs victory to open up conference play. What a finish. An RBI single. The throw to second to cut down Grindy sailed into center. No one home to track it down. And a Little League inside the park home run to cap off a Monarchs win. 12-1 the final score here from UWM Field as Macomb with an emphatic win. The final score is going to be 11-1, so that throw down to second did not matter, although it's fun for Grindy to be able to trot all the way around the bases as the Monarchs 11-1 the final score over SC4 to open conference play. Macomb, after winning the conference each of the past 2 years, tying for the conference title, looking to make it 3 years running. And they're off to a pretty good start with the win number 1 here in year number 1 under Nick Caruso, who's on the coaching staff last year under Taylor Jellikowski, who took a role on Michigan State staff after having 2 conference titles. And Nick Caruso picks up win number 1 in the MCCAA East as Macomb now up to 7-10 on the year, 1-0 in conference play. Meanwhile, St. Clair County drops to 4-5, bringing an end to their 3-game winning streak, 0-1 in conference play. A team that's been 2-48, now 2-49 over the last 2 years in conference play. But Kyle Peets has got his team trending in the right direction. Just wasn't there afternoon as Macomb's offense exploded for 7 runs in the bottom of the 6th. As we get you the final box score from today's game, Brennan Przybicki with the complete game, the starter for Macomb. 6 innings, 7 hits, no walks, 1 run, 5 punch-outs for the sophomore Brennan Przybicki as he picks up his first win of the season. Now 1-3 on the year. Another strong performance after 6 strikeouts in his last outing. Picks up 5 here against St. Clair County as SC4 on the other side. Aiden Carolden, the starter for SC4, picks up the loss. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 4 earned runs coming across as Macomb goes on to win 12-1 the final score. As some of the standout players for Macomb, Lachlan Stout went 1 for 3. He had that 3-run home run that really bolstered the offense in the 6th inning, a part of that big rally. And then Zach Grindy, what a day he had with the game-sealing walk-off single. And on top of that, he had the 2-run double that was the eventual game-winning hit as it put Macomb up 2-1 back in the 2nd as 4 different Monarchs had multiple hits. As we go back through the box score, Macomb, the final score is ruled at 12-1 is the final score here from UWM Field as SC4 went up 1-0 in the second. Macomb rattled off 12 unanswered, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 8 in the sixth, as SC4 scored 1 run on 7 hits, 3 errors. And for Macomb, 12 runs, 11 hits, 0 errors in the field defensively for the Monarchs as they pick up a win. Now 7-10 on the year, and more importantly, 1-0 in conference play. Macomb will be back on the diamond tomorrow. They'll be back at their home field on the campus of Macomb Community College. 2 p.m. first pitch between Mott CC and the Monarchs, a game that was rescheduled from Tuesday. We'll see what the Monarchs can do and see if they get off to a 2-0 start to MCCAA East play. As that'll wrap things up here from UWM Field. Thank you for sticking with us all afternoon long. A beautiful afternoon for baseball warmed up for us, and Macomb's bats warmed up as well. A 12-1 win over SC4. The Monarchs 7-10 now, 1-0 in the conference. And for Matt Merrifield and everybody from the Macomb Monarchs Athletic Department, thank you for tuning along as the Monarchs victorious this afternoon, 12-1. Matt Merrifield and everybody saying so long from Utica, Michigan.